Fred on the Grueling Truth Sports Network. Today we're March Madness. This is show 2. You can go back and look at our show on the East region. We'll be doing 4 shows on all 4 regions, covering the first round of the games. I want to bring up that the Grueling Truth, as always, is powered by betting.net. Betting.net is your best bet for finding an online casino or sportsbook that's right for you. Make sure you go check them out at betting.net. I am your host for this March Madness special, Mike Goodpaster. And today we are going to take a look at the Midwest region, and we're going to start off with Kansas, favored by 21 points, over Texas Southern. I also want to bring up, make sure if you're watching on YouTube, you like, you subscribe, you make sure you hit those bell notifications so you get all of the Grueling Truth betting specials, all the Grueling Truth shows in the future. Make sure you go over to YouTube and sign up there. Also, make sure you check out the link in the description below to check out Caesars Sportsbook, our #1 recommended site for betting on March Madness. Let's go ahead and let's get to the games. We're going to start off, as I said, Kansas minus 21 over Texas Southern. Now, to me, you would think on the outside from looking at this game's probably going to be a blowout. And you would be right, because I think it is going to be a blowout. Kansas, I think, is way too talented. If we watch Texas Southern, it was my big problem with the 4 play-in games is the fact that the 4 16 seeds, especially these 2 16 teams, really like JUCO teams. Texas Southern is deep. They get almost half of their minutes off of the bench. They're very deep, very big, very long. They're not going to be able to handle Kansas, though, in the low post or point guard. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Kansas to cover this game easily. I'm going to say Kansas 92-61. And then we're going to go to the next game. And the next game on our slate is Auburn minus 15.5 over Jacksonville State. Now, when we look at this, a little over a month ago, 6 weeks ago, the Tigers were ranked #1, a lot of people's favorite to win the national championship. Since then, they have not played nearly as well. This Jacksonville State team ranked 5th in the country with 38.8% shooting from behind the arc. Damari King, 46%. Jalen Gibbs, 40%, are their top scorers from three-point range, while King is the second best three-point shooter in the nation this season. If the Jacksonville State shooters are on, this game could be relatively close for a half. Then I expect the Tigers to pull away. This point spread worries me here. If I had to tell you who to pick, I would take Auburn and I would go over or give up to 15.5 points. But my predicted final score here is Auburn 84, Jacksonville 67. So I would tread lightly here. Actually, I will probably leave this game alone and see what comes next. I mean, there's bigger fish to fry, and if I'm not 100% sure, why do I want to bet it? Next up, Wisconsin is a 7 to 7.5 point favorite at Caesars Sportsbook over Wisconsin. Now, or over Colgate. Wisconsin has issues shooting the ball. They had a great regular season. They're a very physical team. They're led by Johnny Davis. We got to see if Johnny's healthy or not. And like I said, they had a great season. But Colgate's one of the hottest teams entering this tournament. They've won 15 straight games, most of them by blowout margins. They're led by Nellie Cummings, who has put up 14.5 points per game. Colgate scoring alone will keep them in this game. If they get hot, they'll pull the upset. I'd say right here, take Colgate in the 7.5 points. I'm going to bet Colgate to beat Wisconsin. I'm not sold on Wisconsin. I think Colgate could get the upset here. Next up, Providence -2 against South Dakota State. This is a dangerous game because it seems like this is it's a trendy upset pick, put it like that. And South Dakota State is hot. But Ed Cooley's Friars have been consistently good all year long. They haven't had any patch of like 2 weeks where they didn't play well. They have played well. They've done it with defense. Defense will be the difference in this game. Find Caesars Sportsbook. Bet on this game. Providence -2 over South Dakota State. I got the Friars beating the Jackrabbits 72-65, and I'm pretty damn confident about that. I really think they can get this done. And I think that this is one of those where South Dakota State is way overrated. The level of competition they've played has not been great. Sure, they've won 30 games, went undefeated in their conference, but what's that really mean when Providence is over there, rolling up with the Big East and the Villanovas of the world? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Providence. Next up, Iowa versus Richmond. We've got Iowa favored by 10.5. My concern here is both teams are red hot. Both teams had to play well into the weekend to get this done. Keegan Murray, I think, is one of the most NBA-ready guys in college basketball right now. And Richmond got hot at the right time. They won their conference. They beat a really good Davidson Wildcats team. I think Iowa has too much firepower here. I think they're going to win the game. But I would actually go ahead, if I was going to bet this, I would take Richmond 10.5 points. I've got Iowa winning this game 87-79. This game is kind of like the game we brought up a couple games ago, Auburn, Jacksonville State. The point spread makes me want to stay away from it. I think that if this was Iowa -7, I would take it. But at Iowa -10.5 over Richmond, I'm probably going to take Richmond, and really, I'm probably going to stay away from this game. But if I did bet it, I would take Richmond and the points. Next up, we've got an interesting matchup between LSU and Iowa State. LSU, of course, just parted ways with their coach, Will Wade. What kind of effect will that have? Iowa State's coming off a year where they only won 2 games. Now they're in the NCAA Tournament. I think the difference in this game will be defense, and that goes to LSU. The Cyclones have been in a tailspin late in this season. LSU just fired their coach. Both teams have issues here. But I'm going to take the talent and the defense of the Tigers. I'm going to take LSU. I'm going to give the 4 points. I think LSU wins this game 72-65. Next up, USC and Miami. This is one of the better matchups in the first round for my money. USC started the season out 13-0. Did not play the toughest schedule to do that. They've cooled off significantly then. But I don't know if it's cooled off or just played better competition. Over the last month, I think their only losses were to UCLA and Arizona. Miami is sneaky good. They have played some of the best teams in the country tough this year. This is a challenging game to call. But at a 1.5, I'm going to take Miami in that 1.5. I've got the Hurricanes upsetting the Trojans 73-70, and I feel really pretty good about that. Our final game in the Midwest bracket is South Dakota State and Creighton. Remember, if you want to bet this, click on the link on the description below. It'll take you to Caesars Sportsbook, the sportsbook that we recommend here at The Grueling Truth for betting all your NCAA tournament games. Now, this is a great matchup. San Diego State, Creighton. San Diego State favored by 2, between 2 of the best defensive teams in the country. San Diego State comes in having won 11 of the last 13 games, including a 63-58 win over Colorado State in the Mountain West semifinals. Creighton will be without the Big East freshman of the year, Ryan Nembhard. That will be the difference in this game. I like San Diego State to win this 63-60. I think San Diego State's a team you can see go to the Sweet 16. I would check the future bet right now out on that, because I think the San Diego State team is an excellent basketball team capable of beating about anybody they play. Now remember, find the best place to bet for you. Betting.net offers expert user reviews for every online sportsbook and casino in your state. Make sure you check out betting.net. All right, guys, this has been Mike Goodpaster for Beating the Spread on the Grueling Truth Sports Network, powered by betting.net. We will see you on the next show.